Hey cuties, thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. If you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Please also like the video, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends. Just wanted to bring you guys Mel's mental health video. She is doing a live series. It is Mental Health Month. I was in the building yesterday and watched this live, and it was absolutely great. I'm not sure if you guys watched it, but it was very informative. The lady shared personal experiences, and like I said, it was great. So I do think that there is a lot going on. People are dealing with a lot in particular. Some of you, some of us may be dealing with some things. And I think it's wonderful that Mel is using her platform to discuss things like this. This is something that we do not get from the other castmates of Love and Marriage Huntsville, really from a lot of reality stars or whatever at all, using your platform for good. But anyway, take a look at the live video, guys. I'll be back at the end with a little more commentary.
Oh my gosh, are you guys ready for our month? Like, this is gonna be amazing. I'm super excited about today. If you've been watching my story, so that y'all know why I look like this, I literally was on a field trip this morning, okay? I literally ran home, literally came right and sit right here at this computer so we can get this live in, okay? So that's why your girl looks like this. I've been out there with the fifth graders today. But super happy and excited about today's live. Again, everyone, you guys know May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and much like I did last year, I'm having an Instagram live series where we are inviting people to come up and to really just pour into us, right? The importance of taking good care of our mental health, the importance of you. So we appreciate you guys so much. Essential Luxury Massage bought a badge. Thank you so much. And today we have two amazing guests who will be joining us, and we're going to be talking about creating mental health practices that work, that are beneficial. We all know that life gets tough. We all know that everyone is going through something. But what we have to do in the midst of that, right, is to get some strategies in place that allow us to still operate at our best self. So without further ado, we're going to get here Miss Lula Vera and Miss Dwayne Wilkerson. So hold on just a second. I see, okay, Lula is here. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I think I clicked add.
Hi.
Okay, there she is. Yay. Hi, we can't see you. Hey, there
Hi,
you
Mel.
are.
How are you? Happy Mother's Day.
Hello. Oh, thank you. Hold on one second.
Hi, everyone. And happy Mother's Day to all your moms.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Hi, Miss Lula. How are you? And for those of you who don't know, guys, I'm going to let her tell a little bit about herself. But this is Miss Lula Vera. She is amazing. She joined me last year for mental health awareness.
Yes,
she runs.
can
you hear me? Okay, you got a delay on the end for some reason. Let me see. So
Maybe
I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take you out and bring you back in. Okay, so we're going to let her get that, see what's going on. She is freezing up. I don't know. So maybe she's going to move and we'll see. And then I'll come back and discuss her. But I did see Dwayne is on here. Let me bring her on up. And we will give Miss Lula an opportunity to come back and join us. So 1 second.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Dwayne.
You doing well?
How are you? am
you. So
wonderful.
you.
You look beautiful, friend. Thank you, girl. Listen, I've been out there at the field trip with Mariah and her little friends and stuff today. It was fun, though. It was cool. We were running around the environmental place, and it was good. It was cool. So I ran home just in time to come over here and make sure we got on this live. You guys, Dwayne also joined me last year during mental health awareness to help pour into and share strategies and ideas on how we can maintain a positive mental health space at all times. Okay, here's Lula. She's back. Let's see.
There you go.
Okay, she joined. Okay.
Hi.
Let's see.
Hey, is it better?
Hi.
Okay. Perfect.
There we are. That is much, much better. So before I get into diving into some questions, I want you both to tell the audience a little bit about you, what it is that you do. Let's go.
Sure, I'll go.
Go first.
Am I going first? Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Hello,
you can go.
First of all, happy belated Mother's Day to everybody. So I'm Dwayne Wilkinson. I'm the owner of Closing Pens, and I am a ghost writer, speech writer for leaders and entrepreneurs. So people who are trying to build their personal brands and they need content, but they don't have time or don't want to create it themselves, I help them with that. And I have had the privilege, the pleasure of working with some really amazing people.
That's amazing. Well, hi everyone. I'm Lula Barra, and I own my own coaching consulting firm that focuses on working with Black women in the diaspora community. So if you're like immigrant, first generation, or just a Black woman living in America as an immigrant, I like coaching, conflict resolution, and I work organizational development work to help corporations to let Black women voices be heard in those spaces, because a lot of times we're not heard. And then also on my side, I run the Love and Marriage Huntsville page. So there.
And I was going to say, and a piece that neither one of them said, Dwayne has been my friend for over 14 years. So let me throw that out there. And then Miss Lula runs the Love and Marriage Huntsville Instagram. So I was gonna plug that just in case. Okay. And both of them, you guys are amazing at what they do. And what I love about both of these ladies is they really have a heart to want to see people win, specifically women, right? They want to see us win. They want to see us excel. And they want to see us do well in our careers and in life in general. And so, ladies, as you both know, being an entrepreneur, female in a lot, we're in those male-dominated industries, right? What are some suggestions that you have in terms of what we can do to create some mental health practices that keep us grounded, right? That keep us still remaining true to ourselves, but taking care of ourselves and still going after goals?
Such an important question to ask. So in the spaces that I'm always in, I find myself, people always think I'm younger than I am because of my voice or how I present myself. So it took me a while to really find my voice and set my boundaries in spaces and speak my boundaries as well. So when I go into any space, I'm always communicating what my expectations are, clear communication of my expectations are, also understand what their expectations are. If they don't match, I usually excuse myself because there's no point of being in spaces where you don't align. As far as like mental health goes, I think it's important to really create your coping mechanisms. So for me, it's being able to go outside for a walk, get some sun, because if you are working from home, like a lot of us are, sometimes it's easy to just stay inside and not go out. And it's about to be summertime now, so being able to go outside, get some fresh air, surround yourself with people that pour into you, because a lot of times we find ourselves being the one to give so much for others and have nothing coming back to us. So I surround myself. I have my 5 people that I know I can go to no matter what. So what to say, like, hey, I need space to vent. Do you have the space to hear me? Because you have to also check in with them to make sure they have the space to hear you as well, because you don't know what's going on with their life. But being able to go outside is for me one of my coping mechanisms, and then surrounding myself with those 5 ladies that I love to death to go to whenever I need to vent. Those are my taken.
I I love it. I love it. And I love how you tied in how that, what work looks like has changed for a lot of us. A lot of us are working from home. So the importance of still getting outside, getting in the sun, taking a walk, right? Enjoying nature. And just sometimes for me, I love to just slowly breathe in the air because we do that so regularly. We don't think about it, right? We just do. And so, but when you sometimes just slow down and really allow yourself to enjoy nature, and as simple as breathing in the air, right? It can calm you down. I feel like every station, there's a purpose. Education, there's a purpose, and nature definitely is that one thing. Water, soil, air, it all definitely, sunlight, it all has a way to kind of bring you back when you're feeling stressed or when you're feeling anxiety. I want to ask you this one more question. You said you have 5 people who are, the people who you depend on to pour into you, right? Are those people bloodline family members, or have you found that connection?
These are the people that I have
family?
built and cultivated a relationship with for the past 14 years. And that goes into building trust, for them to trust me as well, right? It's not one way. The people that I can lean on and be truly myself around, because a lot of times I found myself putting a mask in front of other people that I didn't necessarily trust, so I couldn't really bring my true self to them. So these are college friends, people that I grew up with that knew me at a different stages of my life, because right now I'm at a different season of my life, and that truly love me and accept me for who I am. And we always say, let's create safe space for each other to be who we are that day. Because some days I'm stressed, so maybe I'm not bringing my best self. Some days I'm my happiest self, so I can bring my best self to those spaces as well. And those are the college friends who I grew up with at this point for 14 years, and it's an understood thing. And we always communicate our expectations of what our friendship should look like. Because next year, I'm not going to be the same Lula, because life is happening to me. I'm continuously changing, evolving. So I communicate what my expectations are for my friends moving forward, and to make sure those are aligning as well.
That is awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that, Dwayne.
So some of this is a reiteration of what Lulu just said, but what I think is really important when we're going into spaces, particularly professional spaces, is that we know what we want. Because when you're an entrepreneur, for example, or when you are maybe even transitioning within your industry, sometimes we don't know exactly what we want, right? And so what happens with that is we get swept up into becoming who other people expect us to be or who other people want us to be. And I can say that I had that problem at the start of my business. And what that does is when you're not being yourself, you suffer some. And it could wind up in depression. It could wind up in just a lack of identity. And so unless you know exactly what it is that you're looking for and you can create a trajectory towards that, it's really easy to get swept up in what other people expect of you, and that's always going to wreak havoc on you.
So if you don't mind, Dwayne, you're saying that not being pretty much true to yourself and you know, mimicking, so to speak, others and what they're doing and trying to match that actually can lead you into a depression?
I feel like all of us are born with our unique identities and gifts, right? And if you don't tap into those things, there's going to be an internal struggle. And like anytime there's struggle, there's sadness, there's depression, you don't know whether you're coming or going. Struggle in itself is negative. And so if that is what you're going through internally, there is no other way that the output isn't going to be negative as well. That's why I believe you see so many people who are happy or unhappy, who are jealous of others, because they are fighting within themselves to find out who they are and what it is they really want.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. But continue. I just wanted to, I heard that and it kind of grabbed me, so I wanted to chime in, but continue with, you know, what you were saying about those different, creating that healthy mental space.
So what I do to create a healthy mental space is, although I don't love it, I exercise. And I'm not going to be the person who sits up here like, oh, I'm just raring to go out and exercise. But not only is there a benefit to my body, there is a benefit to my mental state. Like, I can tell the difference in my attitude before I exercise, during, and immediately after. Now, does that high from exercise, does it last all day? No, because at some point you just worn out. But it does give me a boost for the day. So even if it's just a 20-minute walk, like, there are real scientific benefits to exercise. Like, we're not just making this up on this call. It's a science. It's fact that it has an impact on your mental health.
Yep.
A second thing for me is rest. Like, there has been this issue with resting, and entrepreneurs don't get a lot of sleep. I know, Melody, you don't get tons of sleep, but your friend here is going to get her 8 hours.
I'm lying. I know. You know how you go to test at 3, 4 in the morning because they make you up 2 versus the friend that's not going to text you back at 8 a.m.
I am on a sleep schedule all week long. Even on the weekends, I'm on my sleep schedule, and I will break it, of course, if I am out or, I'm doing something. But in order for me to be my most productive, so that when you do call me, Melody, and I can think really quickly, I need my sleep.
Okay. I love that. So sleep and exercise, right? Things that you're saying are very important for just maintaining a positive mental space. And so let me ask you, I'm going to go over to you, Miss Lula. Have you dealt with, and if so, how did you handle being in a space where maybe you're working with or around people who aren't necessarily positive for your mental health, right? They're not positive for your mental health. When you leave, you have a headache. You may have some anxiety before you know you're about to get to work with them. And, it's not positive. How can you control the room or the situation to where you still are maintaining a certain level of peace or maintain? I know, we're going to get into it. We're going to get right into it. Where you still maintain a certain level of peace and them rain on your mental
You
health.
just triggered me now with that question. I'm like, I just saw all these flashbacks just came back. I was dealing with But Dwayne, you said something that's so profound, which is like knowing yourself, right? When I look back at my younger, like when I was in my 20s, that's when I think I was in spaces where people brought a lot of dark energy around me, and I matched that dark energy because that was all that was surrounded with. But because of the work that I did, I know what my trigger points are. I know the spaces that I don't want to be in, the type of people that I want to be connected to. And even to this day, I still find myself being spaces that I can't control, right? Because you can't control what people bring into those spaces. So I limit my response to those situations. If people are gossiping around me, I don't contribute to it. I'm like, wow, thank you so much for telling me. And I change the subject. Or flat out tell them, like, I don't really want to hear this because I feel like I'm kind of, you're crossing a line between your friend and telling me their personal business, and I don't necessarily want to know that. You set the boundaries right there because they know next time they come to you, they're not going to gossip because you're not about it. And then lately, and I'll share with your audience, I ended a 12-year friendship. This was like a year ago, and it was necessary. Because we weren't aligning. The space that was being created in our friendship was turning to this dark space that then no longer contributed to my happiness, and I'm sure their happiness as well. So being able to have an honest conversation, which was, I appreciated and honor our friendship for the past 12 years, but this is where the train stops for us. Because where we're going into, at least where I'm going in my life, I didn't see this person going with me. So being able to have that honest, difficult conversation with that friend for me, was freeing. I still love and appreciate our friendship, but they no longer have a space in my life. And I say that to say, sometimes you have to make those hard decisions. If you know people around you, environments around you don't contribute to your joy, to your peace, you have to let it go. It doesn't matter how long you have known them. No, it doesn't matter how long you have been in those spaces. I have quit jobs that didn't serve me with no backup plan, and I'm not telling you to quit your jobs, y'all, but you just have to do what you have to do to move forward for yourself, and it goes back to knowing who you are and what you want.
I love it. I love it. And let me ask you this. You said 12 years, so that's a long time, right? How did you deal with, and I'm like you said, I'm sure it was freeing after you had that conversation, and after, you know, once you came to the light of, you know what, this is not positive, it's no longer filling my cup, right? And I'm sure the person feels the same way, so let's end this friendship, right? How did you deal with the mental space after
oh my
that?
gosh,
Like, did you mourn the
yes,
friendship?
I grieved it for 4 months. I genuinely grieved it again, and I'm so happy in the space that I am where I can be in tune with my emotions. I didn't dismiss it. I didn't dismiss the breakup. I genuinely grieved it. It's like losing someone, because I did lose someone that I have known for 12 years. And grief is a thing. A lot of times we think grief is when someone dies, but when you end a friendship, a relationship, when you exclude yourself from your family, you're losing people out of your life that you thought you were going to have for the rest of your life. So I mourned it, I grieved it, I cried. I think I was somewhat like really anxious for a while, because it's just like, did I make the right decision? Because you're letting go of something that's been part of you for 12 years. So I created a space for 4 months to grieve it. And it's been almost a year at this point, and I'm still at peace with my decision, because I know I made the right decision, but I made space to grieve it.
Wow, I love that. So if you're on this live and you recently had a friendship that, you know, you had for a long time, or even a relationship, had a marriage, a relationship, and when we talk about mental health and being in a great mental space, know that it's okay for you for a short period of time. Read that. Now, I always say a short period of time, because too much of time grieving leads to depression, and that's not what, right? But
take the time. Take the time. Make space for it. Whenever you walk away from spaces that you thought was going to be part of your long journey, and you decide to walk away from it, someone said, I'm ending a relationship of 6 years in the comment section. Make space to grieve it. Understand where your emotions are. Like, if you're waking up sad, understand the root of it. Don't dismiss it as like, I just woke up sad, because that feeling is going to transfer throughout the day to the people that you love, to the work that you do. So, but when you are in tune with your emotions, then you're able to say, like, I woke up sad because of the decision that I made, like last night, maybe breaking up with that person. Now, what do I need to do in this space to kind of be okay? Do I need to reach out to that good friend? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to just maybe take off work and actually like cry? Whatever you have to do it in order to move forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And sharing. I appreciate it. Dwayne, what about you? Are, you know, times in workspace? Time in workspace where you really had to, you know, it wasn't always positive, right? Or the people you worked with, it wasn't always positive. How did you deal with that?
I tell people what they're doing that I don't like, and then give them an opportunity to change it. So I'm a really vocal person, because I don't know any other way. Okay, Melody. I am really vocal because I literally don't know any other way to be, because when I try to hold things in, it bothers me. Like, there is anxiousness and anxiety, and rather than putting that on myself, I would prefer to just tell people how I feel, what I'm thinking. And then we can figure it out from there. So whenever I have problems with someone, I am going to address those things directly. For instance, very recently, someone invited me into a professional environment, and I went one time and I was like, this isn't for me. And so when the person called me back up to ask what I thought about it, I was just very honest. Thank you for inviting me. That is not how I want to spend my time, and here's why. And so I could tell by the look on her face that she wasn't expecting that response. But what it did for me was free me from having to show up in a space that I didn't want to be in over and over and over again. And that was not going to be helpful for me at all. And
Oh, so you just said you literally put your mental health before someone else's mental health, how they may think, how they may receive what you got to say. And you said, no, I'm about to put my mental health first and let you know, girl, I ain't like it. I don't want to come back and say.
And now, and I have to be honest and say the conversation was awkward because as I was speaking, I could see her mood change and shift. I was like, girl, you got to power through this. You start the conversation now. And so, you know, and once it was over, we had a chit chat about it, but I felt so relieved. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how my relationship with that person is going to be moving forward. She said everything was fine, but we know that sometimes people don't always say exactly what they mean. So I don't know what my relationship with her is going to be like moving forward, but it was worth it for me to speak up for myself and say that I don't want to be involved. And if our relationship is a casualty of that, which I hope it's not, but if it does become a casualty of that conversation, then I'm willing to live with that.
Yeah.
And I bet you felt proud of yourself, right? And the fact that you were vocal. You know how sometimes we walk around, and I think this is part on our mental health or lack thereof, positive mental health. And some walk around holding things.
Yes, someone is cooking downstairs, but like, oh.
Okay, just making sure you're good. But you know, sometimes we walk around holding things in, holding our true thoughts in, holding in what we really feel because we don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings by being honest, right? And after a while, would you ladies agree that can weigh down
Oh my
on
goodness,
you?
absolutely. And that was the reason why I held up from the breakup for the 12-year friendship. Because I was just like, I don't know how they will take it. Also, I don't want to be the bad person. But I was miserable. So like, you have to be able to, you know how you feel all the time. But we always put other people's feelings before us. And then we ended up being resentful, miserable, frustrated. So you still ended up showing up in this terrible spaces because you haven't spoken your truth. And I always say, you can be truthful and not be rude about it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So you can say in the most kindest way, but you can hold on to your truth and say it. Now, I also realized that a lot of people might not be at the same emotional maturity level as you are, so they might not be receiving what you say in a loving way. It might come off as attacking, and that's okay. You know your truth. And I promise you, years will pass by and that person will always come around and be like, you know what, I wasn't in the space to really listen to what you said to me in that moment, but I appreciate you. And it is what it is. Like, you just have to put your emotions first, because if you continue protecting others, like, what's left for you to live off?
Right. Wow.
I do, because I see some comments saying that they are not that comfortable being vocal. And so the thing is, it's just like anything else, you have to teach yourself how to speak for yourself. I haven't always been this person, but you have to seize every opportunity you can to have honest conversations with people. It can be as simply as if a friend comes to you and says, how do I look in this outfit? And you don't feel like the outfit is the most flattering on her. Instead of saying, girl, yeah, they look so good, because you don't want to hurt her feelings, say, I think there are other things you wear that look better. These are those things.
Yeah.
And if you start just taking really, really small baby steps into being honest in a kind and thoughtful way, it gets easier. And what I like to do is, when I am giving an honest opinion, I also like to give what could probably be a solution. So you don't look the best in that shirt, but when you wear that black shirt with the collar, you look amazing. So, you know, it takes practice, and it gets easier each time you do it.
Yeah. And always like know your audience, to know who you're talking to. Because you might have a friend that's like could receive that direct message, but you might have others who need a little like fluffing before you say what you need to say. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And for those of you who are on here and just came on. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I have Dwayne Wilkerson, Lula Bear. They're here on live today, pouring into the audience and just sharing some amazing mental health strategies that can help us as we navigate this thing called life, right? And so you ladies have been amazing. I do want to add, Dwayne, when you were speaking, right, and you were talking about the event, it wasn't mine, by the way. But I can attest to the fact that Dwayne is definitely a straight shooter. She's very direct. She's very honest. But because of that, you will learn that once you become, and like you said, teach yourself and train yourself how to just be forthcoming and be honest. Because of that, people are going to respect you. Like, I send things and ideas to Dwayne all the time, right? And I'm like, hey, girl, what you think about this? Do you like this title? Hey, what you think about this picture? And I know, like, when I send that to her, I know she's about to give me a straight up honest answer. It ain't gonna be what she thinks I want to hear. She's not gonna care if it hurts my feelings or not. True. Yeah, she don't care if it's gonna hurt my feelings or not. It don't matter if I done thought of this title all for the whole month and I'm sending it for to ask her. If she don't like it, she's gonna say, no, I don't like that. And I don't get offended. I appreciate that. When you have friends who are honest, who are direct with you, who keep it 100 with you at all times, it's good to have those kind of people around you. And like I told y'all earlier, we've been friends for over 14 years. And I tell people this, I don't know if they believe me, Dwayne, we've never even had a falling out. We've never had a falling out, but we haven't always agreed. No way. See, that's extra. We haven't always agreed, but I think the respect is mutual, and because of that, we just respect each other's thoughts and opinions. Oh, okay, girl, that's what you think. Okay, well, I feel differently, but that's cool. You ready to go grab something to eat? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not ever anything. I've never had a conversation with Dwayne where I left that conversation mad, upset, still holding on to it. And I think those are the type of relationships, friendships, right, that we have to have so that we don't have things weighing on us mentally heavily because we're not speaking up, because we're not sure if the person's being honest with us, right? So it's important. It's important. And then Lula shared with you guys how she had to end a 12-year friendship because she realized that connection, that friendship was no longer serving purpose. Was no longer serving purpose, and that's okay too. So we also, they said take some walks, exercise, get some vitamin D. And I talked about breathing in the air and just really taking in nature, right? Y'all have been amazing. I appreciate you so very much. You're always welcome to come back anytime. To everyone on the live, thank you all for tuning in. Again, we have Dwayne Wilkerson, Pros and Pens, Lula Bear. She's an amazing coach. Both of the women are pioneers, and advocates for Black entrepreneurship and for Black women leading the way. And so I appreciate y'all so much.
Let me say this about you, Mel. So Melody has been super consistent in talking about mental health for the past, at least she has been doing this for 2 years that I know of. And I know she's been talking about this outside before the cameras came in. But I appreciate you leveraging your following, your platform to talk about the importance of mental health because we talk about it in a passing way, but I think we don't really see a lot of people taking the space to invite other guests to talk about it and connect with their audience. So I truly appreciate you making the time, taking the space, and allowing really to have honest conversation about what human experience looks like with all of us. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, how famous you are, where you come from, we all struggle with the same thing. So I generally appreciate you taking the space and the time to have this conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Lanya, thank you as well.
I also want to say to your audience that in my not agreeing with Melody, I want everybody to know it is because I love her so dearly, and I only ever want to see the best. So that is why I give honest opinions, because like, you're a star, girl.
Yep.
I want your star to shine as bright as you can.
Right. You get on my nerves, but no, I believe that and I know that. Again, everyone who's here, thank you guys for joining us today. Remember, we've got round 3, not next Monday, but the Monday after. So stay tuned, pay attention to my story, and I hope everyone has an amazing week. Happy belated Mother's Day if you didn't catch a live yesterday.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Mel. Bye, Dwayne.
Bye. It's nice seeing you.
Melody Shari is made for this platform. I loved how she was able to listen to the ladies, then come back with questions about what they actually said. This is what the other cast members does not give us. We just don't get it. You know, interact with your fans, bring something outside of the show to the public, such as concerns like mental health. It was just great. But you guys, drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about it. Let me know if you are experiencing anything yourself when it comes to mental health. Are you okay? Let's chit chat about it. Drop down, guys. Please also make sure to like the video, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. Chat with you guys soon. Bye.